Yeah. Um, so the biggest thing is just listen. That's it. Like for some situations, you're not going to be able to say the right thing, and that's okay. So quite often, what works and what helps is just asking open-ended questions. My One of my oldest friends has recently gone through an extremely traumatic experience. He just lost a child, and um, yeah, and like as a result, he's it's hard, right? Like it's what do you say in that moment, And I kind of realized there's nothing I can say that's gonna help that, right? Nothing's gonna help him or make him feel better or anything like that. But what I can do is I can give him a hug, and I can sit there and I can just listen to him, and that's what I've done. I've just tried to be there as much as I can. I've just tried to show up as much as I can because I feel that's all you can do. Sometimes you can't fix situations. And I think as human beings, and especially if it's a loved one, right, we want to fix it. Like we want to fix it. We want to make it better for them because they're in pain and we want to help them. But sometimes we just can't. Sometimes we can. Sometimes we can do things. Sometimes we can listen. We can open and ask open ended questions to be able to help them get to a conclusion. But ultimately, sometimes we're not able to help them. But what we can do is, or at least solve the problem for them, but what we can do is we can help them and we can be there for them. And so I think it's less about what you say. And I think so for people, for example, if someone's worried about speaking to their mate about their mate's mental health because they don't know what to say, or the questions to ask, so then they don't say anything, that's probably like the worst thing you could do, right? Like even if you just asked like, are you all right, and then just listened, and maybe it might be a case that you have to ask if they're all right a couple of times, or if you can see if you see they're not okay and they're saying like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, you're like, are you sure? Like, sorry to push, like obviously, if you're not feeling, obviously don't need to speak about anything, but just I'm here for a chat if you need. And just opening that conversation up and knowing that they're not alone, um can sometimes do absolute wonders, because when people don't feel judged and they feel like they're in a safe space, hence why therapy is such a beautiful thing. When people are in a safe space and they feel like they're in a safe space, they feel comfortable to open up. And when you open up, you ease the load off your shoulders. You take the load off your shoulders. You don't feel so heavy, and you don't feel like you have a million and one things running around your head anymore, and you ultimately feel so much better for it. So being able to just open up those conversations, is such an important thing. And I don't think anyone should be scared about having those conversations or asking their mate if they're okay, because it's okay. Just ask them how they're doing and just listen. You don't have to have the solution. Sometimes just listening is enough.